Alright, today we're going to graph a linear equation. First, for us to easily graph a linear equation, we need to make any equation or any linear equation, like this one, put it in the slope form. Okay, the slope form, we're going to solve for y, and then after that we're going to graph it. Alright, so in order for us to solve for y in this case, we would need to add 4 to both sides of the equation. So we have y equal to 4x plus 5. So the slope form tells us that mx plus b have to be equal to y, right? So that looks good for now, right? So now, how do we graph this? How do we actually graph this? Well, we need to know what are the points for x into the graph, right? So I'm gonna write something here, and I'm gonna say a couple of points, a couple of numbers for x to find y, right? So I'm gonna make a little table, and I'm gonna call here, I'm gonna say x, and I'm gonna say here y, right? I just want 2 points, right? So I'm gonna say when x equal to 0, what is y? So over here, I'm gonna say y is equal to 4x. So we're gonna substitute x for 0, right? Because I'm saying that when x is 0, what is y going to be, right? And now, when you multiply 4 times 0, it will give you 0. And 0 plus 5, y will be 5 in this case, right? So, when x is 0, y is equal to 5, right? So now, let me see, where do I have space? All right, I'm gonna erase this. If you need to look at it, you just go back or pause it. All right. So I'm gonna do the same thing, but now I'm gonna say, let's see, when x is -2, what is y going to be, right? So I'm gonna say the same thing again. 4 times -2 plus 5, right? I'm pretty much doing the same thing all over again. I'm just changing the values, okay? I said when x is 0, y is equal to 5. But now we're looking at when x is -2, what is y? So when I multiply 4 times -2, it will give you -8, because positive times negative is negative, plus 5. And that gives us -3. So when x is equal to -2, y is equal to -3, right? So now I have 2 points, and with linear equation, 2 points is enough. Sometimes professor asks you to graph with 3 points, but honestly, it's going to be the same result. Okay. For the purpose, we're gonna use only 2 points, right? So now that we have those points, you can actually leave it like that, or you can have a list of order paired. And we know that this is x and this is y, right? And the other point is when x is -2, y is -3, right? So I'm gonna do a little graph here. So I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those points doesn't matter, doesn't really matter. You can do 5 if you want. Actually, let's do 5. Right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we do. All right. So we're gonna graph first the first point, right? We're gonna do the first point. So we say that this is -1, this is +2, this is +1, and this is -1. This is x and this is y axis. This is the x axis and the y axis, right? So we say that when x is 0, which is right here, this is 0, y is going to be positive 5. So we're going to go 5 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? And this is our first point, which is 0, 5. Right? So the second point that we have is when x is negative 2, y is negative 3. Right? So we're going to go 2 to the left, 1 and 2, because it's negative. Right? So actually, yeah, right here. And then go down 3. Right? So we go 1, 2, and 3. So we know that our point has to be somewhere in here, right? So this is our second point. So after we have that point, what we have to do is we pretty much have to draw a line, right? So I don't have a ruler right now. I'm gonna try to do my best. I'm not a good drawer, so this is kind of our graph. What?
Can I be in the baby?